Why every man should travel. It will change your life forever. You'll never find out who you are until you leave everything you know. That is not a quote, it's the truth. Let's talk about why every man should travel and why it will change you forever. Let's be honest. Most men will live and die in the same old place. Same town, same habits, same comfort zones. And that's exactly why most men will never grow into their full potential in life. If you're a man and you're listening to this right now, you need to travel. Not just for fun, not just to escape, but to evolve. Because travel is the ultimate test, the ultimate teacher. It breaks you down, it builds you up, it turns boys into men. Travel introduces you to the world, but more importantly, it introduces you to yourself. Let's talk exactly why this matters. One, travel teaches you who you really are. At home, you're surrounded by people who think they know you. You're that guy from school, work, the gym, or your neighborhood. They have already labeled you, and maybe you have labeled yourself too. But the minute you land in a new place where nobody knows you, you're free. You're not your past anymore. You're not your failures. You're not your image back home. You're just you. And that's where the real discovery begins. When you start asking big questions. Who am I when nobody's watching? What kind of man do I want to become? You stop performing and you stop pretending and you start finding out what you're really made of. When no one knows you, you're no longer living for approval. You begin to living for your truth. And for this first time, you might actually like what you find. Two, you get comfortable being uncomfortable. Travel isn't always pretty. You'll get lost. You'll get scammed. You'll sleep in weird places, eat strange food, maybe get sick. And you know what? That's a good thing because when things don't go your way, you learn to adapt and grow. You stop panicking, you start thinking, and you'll figure it out. You go from frustrated to focused, from confused to capable because every problem you solve becomes another proof I can handle this. And with every challenge, your confidence grows because now you know you can handle it. That mindset makes you dangerous in the best way. Comfort zones shrink men, discomfort builds men up. Three, learn. Learn how little you really need in life. You pack your bag, you live out of it for a few weeks or a couple months. And then you realize you don't need this that much at all. You've been carrying too much weight in your life, physical, emotional, and financial. And suddenly you feel free again. You start to understand I don't need more stuff. I need more experiences, more memories, more clarity. Travel simplifies your life. It declutters your mind. And that simplicity will find clarity and peace. Minimalism becomes real. You become international. And when you return, you just don't turn with less junk. You have more focus in your purpose. Stop running from yourself, number four. Most guys keep themselves busy on purpose. Work, parties, screens, numbing routines. But when you travel, especially alone, there's nowhere to hide, no distractions, just silence and the sound of your thoughts. At first, that's uncomfortable, maybe even painful. But then something shifts. You start listening, you start healing, you start growing again. You stop running away from yourself. And for the first time in your life, you finally face yourself. This is where you comfort. This is where you confront your regrets, your fears, your dreams, your potential. This is the inner journey most men avoid, but it is the journey that changes everything. 5, it humbles you. There's nothing like seeing a kid in a poor village laughing his heart out with nothing but a stick and his friends, while you were just complaining about your slow Wi-Fi earlier, or meetings, or you meet someone who survived the war, see true poverty, true loss, and they still smile more than you do. That humbles you. It makes you grateful for what you have. It forces you to stop feeling sorry for yourself. You'll stop whining and start appreciating what you have. And this humility changes how you treat others. It gives you patience, respect, and empathy. You stop walking around like the world owes you something, and instead you become a man who contributes. 6, you see women differently. Men, most men grow up only seeing women through a lens, looks, sex, or the surface level attraction that they give. But when you travel, you meet women with a completely different values. Women who are kind, family focused, supportive, strong in their femininity. Women who respect you, challenge you, and inspire you, not just to distract you. You learn cultural difference. You notice feminine energy is in its pure form. And you stop chasing what's flashing and start valuing what's real. You realize you are not chasing, you are chasing the wrong things. Now you seek peace, not drama, depth, not games, loyalty, not popularity. Travel reshapes your standards, and better standards attract better women. 7, you build global awareness. The more you travel, the less judgmental you become. You stop looking at the world in black and white. You stop saying, that's weird, and start saying, that's interesting. You begin to realize people are just people, different languages, clothes, traditions, beliefs, but deep down, we all want the same things: love, safety, purpose, and freedom. That perspective, it makes you wise, it makes you kind, it makes you real. It helps you lead, it helps you connect. It makes a bridge, it makes a bridge instead of creating a wall. And in a world full of division, that kind of man is rare and is greatly needed. 8, you learn to trust yourself. Back home, you might doubt yourself, but when you cross a border alone, you figure out a train system you could read, or you navigate a problem in a country where nobody speaks your language, and you start trusting your instincts again. You stop asking for permission. You stop waiting to be saved, because now you know you're capable. You develop calm. You'll develop being calm under pressure. You gain the ability to think on your feet. This is the type of power no one can give you and no one can take away. 9, you break the routine and rewire your brain. Routines are safe, but they also dangerous. They keep you stuck thinking the same thoughts, feeling the same feelings, living the same patterns. But when you wake up in a new country with new food, new people, new streets to walk, new problems to solve, your brain lights up. You become more creative, more alert. Your senses come alive. Your emotions get real again. You stop sleeping through life and you start living consciously. You start asking yourself, what else am I capable of? What else I have been afraid to try in life? 10. You become the main character in your story. Most men are extras in their own life, just going through the motions, playing it safe, following the crowd. But when you travel, you are the main character. You make the decisions. You face the consequences. Every chapter is yours to write. When you're no longer watching someone else's movie, you're living your own. And that is how legends are born. You're not following someone else's path. You're blazing your own. 11. Realize your home is realize home is a feeling and not a place. You might think your hometown is your only home, but when you travel, you'll find little pieces of home all around the world. A smile from a stranger, a sunset on the mountain, a meal shared with locals, a moment of peace under a warm sky. Home becomes something you carry inside you, and suddenly the world doesn't feel so scary anymore. And when you realize you can feel at home when you feel realize you can feel at home anywhere, you start fearing the unknown. 12. You meet people who change your life. Some of the most meaningful friendships you'll ever make will come from unexpected places. A hostel in Thailand, a train ride in Eastern Europe, a beach in the Philippines. You connect with people on a soul level. People who expand your thinking. People who inspire you. People who remind you you're not alone in this world. Sometimes travel gives you the community you never knew you needed. Some of these connections last a night, others a lifetime, but they all will leave their mark on you. 13. You learn how to be alone without being lonely. Most men fear being alone. They think it means they're broken or unwanted or lost. The solitude on the road teaches you something powerful. Being alone doesn't mean you're lacking. It means you're free. You sit with your thoughts. You take yourself on adventures. You learn to enjoy your own company. That is when you stop needing people and you start choosing yourself. That is not loneliness. That is self-respect. And from places of wholeness, you attract better people. You make clear decisions. 14. You return a different man. When you come back, things will look different. Some people won't understand you. Some friends might not relate to you anymore, and that's okay. Plus, now you've seen more, felt more, grown more. You have expanded in your life. And once your mind is stretched, you'll never go back to being the same. You'll walk taller, speak clearer, think deeper. You're no longer just a man from somewhere, you're a man of the world. And when you talk to people, people will listen because you're not speaking theory, you're speaking from experience. Final message. If you're feeling stuck, if you've been lost, if you've been questioning your purpose or your identity, your next move, just pack your bags, get on a plane, and start walking. You don't have to know where you're going. You just have to be brave enough to leave. Because out there in the unknown is where the real you is waiting. You will return with stories, with scars, with strength, with purpose. So go, not to escape life, but to finally fully live it. And with like that, I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Please leave a comment or like, and I'll see you on the next video.